Hello friends, we are discussing the analog communication and in that we are discussing the generation of amplitude modulated wave. I have already discussed the generation using the square law modulator. Now in this video I am going to discuss the generation of AM waves using switching modulator. So now first of all, you must be wondering what is the circuit of switching modulator, then only we'll discuss its working. So first I am going to tell you the circuit. So now this is my circuit. Here I have an adder. Adder is adding the input signal which is xt. xt is my information or message signal. It is adding it to the carrier signal which is AC cos omega ct. So now after the addition, this combined signal is going to a diode. So diode is a non-linear element. I already told you that every generating device would have a non-linear device. So diode is here, the non-linear device. I hope you remember the functioning of the diode. The functioning of the diode includes its switching operation. So diode works as a switch. So I am taking this diode to be an ideal diode. After that, the diode is connected to a load resistance which is connected to a band pass filter, and from there I am getting the output voltage. So now if I talk about this diode, it is getting the input which is the combination of CT and XT. So input of diode CT plus XT. So I am giving the input to CT plus XT to diode. So now the diode is an ideal diode. So the diode works as a switch. So if the input is positive, then diode is forward biased, and if input is less than 0, it is negative, diode is reverse biased. I know this functioning of the diode, so I can say when it is forward biased, I am classifying it as an open switch, a closed switch. When it is forward biased, it has zero resistance and it is working as a closed switch. And when it is reverse biased, it is open switch. So diode is acting as a switch when it is connected to an input. So now the input are the information signal and the carrier signal. I already told you that the amplitude of carrier is very much greater than the amplitude of information signal. Amplitude of CT is much greater than amplitude of XT. So now I can say the diode functioning would depend upon CT only. Because the amplitude of CT is much greater than the amplitude of XT. XT is very negligible as compared to CT. So now when CT is negative, XT has to be negative. And when CT is positive, XT, even if it is negative, CT will make it positive when it is positive. So the output depend upon the amplitude of CT. So diode functions would depend upon the CT only. So when the CT is positive, when CT positive, diode is closed switch, and when CT is negative, diode is open switch. So I can say the output voltage. So the output voltage depends upon, so here I am taking V2T. So now here V2T would be equal to V1T, V input T, when it is closed switch, when CT is positive, when CT is greater than 0, and V2T is 0 when CT is less than equal to 0. So this is the functioning of the diode here. So if I plot it, so here if I have V input T and if here I have V2T. So for negative values of V input T, for negative values of CT, it is 0. After that, if I increase Vt, if it is greater than 0, V2T is equal to V1T. So it has slope 1. So it represents V2T is equal to V input T. So this graph represents the functioning of this diode. So now this diode would depend upon the carrier signal only. So I hope you remember, this is my carrier signal. It is having a very high frequency. So the diode is positive, it is forward biased when the carrier is positive. The diode is reverse biased when the carrier is negative. So if I represent the functioning of the diode, I'll have a pulse. So this is T and this is amplitude. So the amplitude would be 1. For half pulse, it is positive. So for half pulse, so I am taking from minus T/4 to T/4, it is positive. Then after that it is negative. The negative is represented by 0. Again I'll have a positive pulse, which is centered around T0. Similarly here also I have a positive pulse, which is centered around minus T0. So it is T0/4, it is. So now I hope you are clear that how I made this pulse. This pulse is made dependent upon the functioning of this carrier. So the carrier is changing its amplitude from positive to negative in one cycle. The cycle would have the constant value. The frequency is not changing. So this frequency is same throughout the length. So I'll have this wave, this pulse would be of constant frequency. So here the distribution is constant. So it is positive. When it is positive, it is closed switch, and when it is negative, it is open switch. So closed switch is represented by a pulse and the open switch is represented by no pulse. So this is the pulse PT, which represents functioning of the diode. It is having half duty cycle. So why half duty cycle? Because for half duration only the carrier is positive and for the next half duration it is negative. So V2T would be V input T into the functioning of this diode. The diode is represented by PT. So whatever I have V input T, when it is multiplied by the pulse of this diode, I'll get the output. So where V input T was, V input T is again XT plus CT. So I can represent CT as AC cos omega CT. So now I know V input T, I should know the PT. So PT is represented using Fourier series, and with the help of Fourier series I represent PT to be 1/2 plus 2 by pi summation n is equal to 1 to infinity minus 1 raised to power n minus 1 upon 2n minus 1 cos omega ct into 2n minus 1. So now this is my PT, this is my input voltage. So I need to find out V2T. V2T is just the multiplication of this function and this. So I am representing it with equation 1 and this with equation 2. So now Multiplying 1 and 2 will give me V2t. So V2t would be, so V input is xt plus AC cos omega ct. So it is multiplied by pt. So it is half plus 2 by pi n is equal to 1 to infinity minus 1 raised to power n minus 1 upon 2n minus 1. So we'll put various values of n here. So it is xt plus AC cos omega ct 1 by 2 plus 2 by pi. When I put n is equal to 1, minus 1 raised to power 0 would be 1. So here I left a term. So I left this term. So now coming back here, minus 1 raised to power 1 minus 1 would be 0. So minus 1 raised to power 0 would be 1. Here when I put 1, 2 into 1 minus 1. So it would be 2 minus 1. It would be 1 into cos omega ct into 2 minus 1. So I am getting cos omega ct plus, if I put the higher values of n, I am getting minus 1 raised to power 2 minus 1. So minus 1 raised to power minus 1 upon 3 cos 3 omega ct plus so on. So I am getting these values. So now here you should understand that I am getting a higher frequency term, and here I have a band pass filtered centered around omega c. So this is a high frequency term, and after that I'll get the higher frequency terms. This I am calling it as odd harmonics of higher frequency. So these are getting rejected by the band pass filter. So now I need not to consider these signals. So because these are getting rejected by the band pass filter, I just need to focus on these signals. So V2t would be xt plus AC cos omega ct into 1 by 2 plus 2 by pi cos omega ct, because I rejected all the higher order values. So now when I multiplied it, I'll just multiply all the values. So I am getting xt by 2 plus 2 by pi xt cos omega ct plus AC cos omega ct by 2 plus 2 by pi AC cos square omega ct. So again I'll be using the functioning of the band pass filter. So band pass filter is again centered around Fc. So this is a low frequency signal. It would get rejected. This will go to the signal. It will pass through the band pass filter. Again this will pass through the band pass filter, and this will again get rejected. So I am left out with V output t would be 2 upon pi xt cos omega ct plus AC cos omega ct upon 2. So now if I take the common AC cos omega ct upon 2, from here I am left out with 1. Here I took the cos omega ct common, so I am left out with 4 upon pi AC into xt cos omega ct. So this is my output voltage. So if I remember the standard modulation equation, so mt was 1 plus m of xt AC cos omega ct. So this is my standard amplitude modulation equation, and this is the output voltage equation. So AC cos omega ct upon 2. So if I normalize it, I will be having 1 plus m of xt. So now m is my 4 upon pi AC. So this is my modulation index. So I hope now you can see I can generate my amplitude modulation signal with the help of switching modulators. So I hope you understood each and everything which I discussed here. So if you still have any doubt in any of the part, you can put the doubt in the comment box and I'll try to resolve it. I hope you like this video. If you like it, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel and push the like button. Thank you.